shower, sit and play in my bed. I feed my dogs and play in my bed.
That's fair.
And so yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. If you magically get off early tomorrow, throw me a message. Very much unhappiness of one of my friends.
Okay.
Otherwise, good luck whenever you decide to run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have probably splatted instead, so
Never go full splat.
What?
yeah. And if you splat, we actually just would have died. And on a splat, you don't even get a revive, so you're not even like at the bottom revive. You're like full dead, and we'd have to go back through the gun fort again.
Oh, not the gun.
That sounds like a pretty good time to be. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds great. Because of the gun fort being a bit of a meme here, I think I will take the safety idol before Guardian Ape.
Yeah.
Usually I wouldn't take it, but I don't want to go through the gun fort again just in case.
Worth.
Yep.
Gun fort 4 times in a row would be crazy.
The world record for most gun forts in a run.
Yeah, so Guardian Ape coming up here, one of the more infamous bosses from this game for sure. We have a stun lock for the first phase, where basically if you time your hits just right, you're kind of getting mini staggers at just the right timing so that he just gets mini staggered over and over and over again. So he's not going to be able to do anything for this first phase. So these initial mortal draws, yeah.
And actually in this phase we have so much damage.
Yeah,
Even need to be
Yeah.
As long as you hit him in the head, he takes extra damage. So basically, we stack a bunch of percent increases in damage. Yash is 25% extra, jumping does 50% extra on Mortal Draw, hitting him in the head I think does double damage. You put that all together, it's a lot of extra damage. We won, we did it!
Nice fight.
Good fight.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh.
Not the best RNG.
Oh,
This
terrible
stream when
RNG.
he's facing away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, despite him not having a head anymore, or at least not one that's attached, you can still headshot his...
Yeah,
Which I'm gonna try first here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That was some good damage. Good enough. Yeah, so when he does that big attack and he like attacks down at you, he'll stagger himself forward, and if you just jump in place, you will hit where his head used to be. It still has a hitbox, and he still takes like double damage from it, so it's a little silly. You hit the headless stump, and does a ton of damage.
Can I jump in with a quick update?
Absolutely.
All right, we are well on our way. We have already, in just the few precious moments, raised our first $375 towards that easy all secrets run. But chat, I'm gonna level with you. I think Mitch is going faster than you right now. I also want to point out that we have raised so far about $10,500 from our new Twitch extension, letting you donate to MSF without leaving the page. Can we maybe see 15K on that extension before the end of the run, as well as 15K towards Quake?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we can.
I think we can. Coming up on the 7 spears here, it's a fairly basic strat. We use an Akko sugar to increase our damage, take the death blow, and then guess what we're gonna do next?
Don't Mortal Draw. Yeti.
This is a really hard boss on my first
I
playthrough.
hated this in my first playthrough. All the ads and all the enemies hitting you during it.
It's brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, they all forgot about me, so yeah, as long as you take that kind of side path there, the enemies just don't really see you. As long as you take out, there's just one guy who has a gong who would alert everyone. As long as you don't let him ring the gong and you take that side path, it's pretty free. You get to fight him alone.
I feel like the important thing to keep in mind with a lot of these fights is that Mitch is, in fact, leading them, but they go sideways surprisingly quickly if you mess up at all. Like, if they get a block when you're trying to dead angle them, they will counterattack hard. But now we're making our way up to the top of the Ashna Castle once again. This is where the Shura ending would take place if we were going that route, but that removes like half the bosses from the game, so we're not going to do that. So instead, yeah, we'll be fighting Owl at the top, and yeah, it'll be a pretty similar strategy to Genichiro, because it's in the exact same order.
Yeah, we actually use the other side of the door, just based on like their hitboxes and things like that. It just works out better. But interesting that each side of the door is used for one of the bosses at the top of the castle. Make sure to select the correct option here. Don't do the Shura ending. Okay, good.
That's actually happened.
Yeah.
Perfect move.
Nice.
Yeah, that was gonna slide right in there.
Not a glitch, by the way.
Not a glitch, yeah. AI manipulation. Also lucky that his model is big enough, a lot larger than Genichiro's, so I don't have to turn towards him on the 5th hit. I can just keep attacking forward.
Yeah.
One super minor thing here is I'm actually not spamming the attack button. I'm clicking it once per attack. The reason for that is because if you spam it, you might get a partial thrust attack, which would slow down your attack combo, because he would start to go into the thrusting animation if you happen to accidentally hold that attack button for a little bit. So instead, just doing one attack each prevents that from happening as often.
I've never heard of that in my life, but you know, I'll take it.
It's like one of those super tiny things that nobody notices. But Holm, shout out to Holm, the knower of everything, yeah, found that it was, you know, a few frames faster on a fight on average or something.
Yeah, very nice elephant.
Yeah, that was definitely good. Here, I'm going to level up skills for the second time, and we're finally going to get the skill that most people would probably get as their very first skill in the game, Nikir. This is specifically to counter thrust attacks. It's super powerful at that, but turns out we actually didn't fight enemies that had thrust attacks up till now, so we just didn't get it till now. But we are going to fight a few coming up, so better to level it. And we've got some dialogue. Dialogue means time, maybe for some donations.
Absolutely. I've got $25 here from Wigtall, who says, big thanks to Mitriz and the whole couch for the beautiful run. Much love to you all. Let's rack up those donations. And I agree wholeheartedly. Chat, I don't think I stressed this enough. Mitch's bio is I set world records. If you want to see the Quake 64 upgrade, now is the time to donate. I have $25 here from Casserole, who said her Mitch was too fast, had to donate again.
All right, actually, funny enough, not hearing the dialogue and there's no subtitles, I actually made a mistake in my magic, but it's fine, We're settled now.
Also got to do a little bit of eavesdropping here so that we get the dialogue showing up later. So that leads to the second Prada statement. Where are we going now?
Next, we are heading up into the Fountainhead Palace. Very beautiful spot. So I think in looking at the idols that I had here, I think I might be missing an important one for later. That's something we'll...
It's a later problem.
That's a later problem. But yeah, heading up into the Fountainhead Palace, we've got the true version of the Corrupted Monk. It just says Corrupted Monk again, but the previous one was kind of a phantom, so this is the true one, and I've got to...
And this fight has some cool strategies, as you'll see in this phase 1. Drop down with some jump mortal draws, I mean, that's nothing too crazy, but weaving them throughout this fight, because as you can tell, Trimmonk is very tanky. Lots of health to go through, jumps through the attacks to get the death blow, and that's just one of the 3 phases. Fortunately, there's a little technique we can do on the second phase, which is jumping up to the tree and then taking a death blow right as she spawns back in.
And that one's actually intended, and the reason that it works on the other monk is you're supposed to do it there, but you can do it on the other one.
Yeah.
And then the totally unique phase 3 here. We've got a unique opener. You've got to collect this. She will not stop doing it. And then just finish it off.
There we go.
It's a really
Very
cool
clean
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting script that I kind of adapted from the world record. The world record forces her to block you so that she'll attack you back faster. But sometimes she just doesn't block you, or sometimes she attacks back so quickly that she just kills you. So I adapted it a little bit where we just wait for her to attack instead of trying to force her, and it works out very, very nicely. Here, I'm going to try to avoid the lightning from Okami Leader. She's supposed to prevent you from like going through this area without going around and dealing with her, but if you dive at the right time there, we should be able to swim right by the lightning. There it is. Just get through.
By all that is
We love a good fish moly. I'm going to have to avoid him by aggroing him and then swimming to the side like this.
Fish moly!
All right, and then we are through into the main part of Fountainhead Palace. We're going to do a few mini bosses here, but not the main boss of Divine Dragon just yet, because as soon as you do Divine Dragon, the world state is going to change by a lot, and it would lock us out of a lot of possible boss fights. So the world state would change, some bosses would disappear, and so that would not be good for all bosses to face up. Instead, we're just going to take out some mini-bosses here. The reason we take out these mini-bosses right now, as opposed to maybe coming back later when we're even stronger, is because the underwater headless here gives us an infinite use version of the Yashariku sugar. And so that increases our damage by a lot, and so having infinite uses of more damage is infinitely good. You do the math.
Indeed.
It does cost some emblems, but we got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Here's a fun little build. Oh! But it's alright.
Yeah.
The boss is very squishy. Nice. Goes right into the next one here. To the headless.
Yep, dive underwater and then swim down to it. We used a Gotching Sugar because there's a second headless on the top left of the screen that we don't want to see us. So now we can just fight this one with our confetti.
Dodging the attack by swimming up. I like this fight.
Yeah, it's a little disorienting in 3D if you're not sure exactly what's going
very
on.
unique.
Yeah. All right, got him. Nice.
And there is the Yashariku Spirit Ball. Yeah, it's the reusable Yashariku Spirit.
All right, and then we go to the Sakura Bowl, which has, I think, a developer-intended instant kill. I can't think of why it would work if it wasn't developer-intended. But if you use a firecracker while the bull doesn't even notice that you're there, it will instantly freak out and start charging around. And then as long as we do at least one hit, then when it hits the wall, it will immediately have its posture broken. So I'm just going to collect some items here, let it hit the wall, stomp it down, and there it is.
Very smooth, very smooth.
All right, the next one, I get to see if I actually am missing an idol that I should have. Because we're trying to get to the double A fight. If I don't have it, the fight is going to be a lot worse. Because we'll be coming from the wrong direction, and they will get to be active immediately, whereas if I get to come from the correct direction, we get to start hitting it right.
Yeah, you know, I don't think you got it.
I don't think I got that. I think I
Now
might
that
have
you mention
skipped
it.
that one. I did skip that one. So, back up, we're gonna go to Ashina Castle. We're gonna go to the abandoned dungeon entrance.
Yeah, that works,
That'll work. Making it up on the fly. This is fun. This is totally fun.
So Mitch Resurrection.
Yeah. It actually, it's an RNG manipulation.
While we are in G-Minute, can I share some love?
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. I've got $25 here from Curry King, who says, Sekiro was tough. Love to see it getting destroyed. I also have $50 here from Lulu, who says, Sekiro is my favorite game that I'm not good enough to play, but Mitch always has such a welcoming and easygoing energy that watching him makes me want to pick it up again. I hope someday I can be half as skilled as you, Mitch. Good luck, have fun. Thank you so much. And we have passed our first $1,000 towards that Quake 64 upgrade to Easy All Secrets incentive, y'all. We gotta keep them coming, because Mitch is not letting up. He's making up backups on the spot. That is how determined he is to beat you all to the end of this run, Twitch chat. While we move, just a quick update on that incentive. If it gets met, that is an addition of 16 whole minutes of Quake 64 gameplay to our marathon, including the runner Limey showing off a bunch of speed tech not in the base easy run, including a ton of stuff he discovered himself. If you want to see this, Twitch chat, gdq.gg/donate or our extension.
So this is the Guardian Ape refight. Normally, he would be approaching from the other side and just kind of getting the drop immediately on the Guardian Ape. You don't get an instant death blow, but it just gives you a little more time to...
Okay, the strat worked out just fine. But this is supposed to be a duo fight. There's a second ape over there. But we kind of just took it out so quickly, the other ape didn't have a chance to do anything, which is very lucky, because this can be the hardest fight in the game, at least, you know, for some people.
Do you want to get the idol anyway, because you have to come back?
Yes, I do want to get the idol anyway, so I guess I didn't need this one.
Surely the ape doesn't come back again.
Not a third time. But actually, hopefully it doesn't, so then we'll have more bosses than 50. Alright, so grab this one, because we already need to come back here actually a couple more times later, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And then we're going to move on and clean up, finally, the general and the headless that we skipped right at the start, right after the chained ogre. We're finally going to come back and take them out. One good thing about coming from this direction as opposed to from the ogre's direction is we are from behind of the general, and hopefully we'll be able to immediately get a death blow. It doesn't always work. It's a little finicky, but most of the time you can just jump from this corner right here.
It's just in time.
Yep.
Is that how that always goes?
No, usually you get a mid-air death blow.
Okay.
So it's, wrong guy. That's
Get down, Mr. President.
Yeah, that one's definitely more of an improvise as you go type of a boss than like a set script. Especially with those gunners shooting at you.
We hate that one in particular.
Yeah. All right, now to our first actual above ground fight with a headless. They are the scary, like very, very scary, not only casually, but also in a speed run. Their attacks are very unpredictable. So I'm going to try to circle around it as much as I can, because just like the chained ogre, if you keep circling around it, it doesn't get as much chance to attack you. If it does start attacking me though, I'm gonna have to deflect it, which means I'm not gonna be able to circle around it anymore. So I'm gonna try to keep circling around it. Okay, good. Nice. It attacked in the wrong direction. Keep circling. Okay, there's the first death blow.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to get it to do a grab attack on me by turning around for a second. It did not want to do it. Oh.
Yeah, you can see
That's okay, that's
it
okay.
just has unnaturally slow movement.
Yeah.
These guys are so bad. If you've never fought a headless, then you just don't understand.
Got through it.
They are as bad to fight as they look.
Yeah. The main thing is because their attacks are very slow but active, depending on where you are, if you're close to them, their hand will kind of contact you, but if you're far, then their sword will contact you. So it's really hard to tell when it's actually going to hit you to get that perfect deflect. And if you're early and take a block, it's still pretty bad. So you try to time them perfectly, and sometimes it just does not work out. All right, now next we've got a little bit of lore, so probably time for a few donations.
Absolutely. I've got $5 here from Alex and Dad, who ask, how about a $5 donation train to make some waves with that Quake incentive? Hype! Chat, I think Alex and Dad are absolutely on to something. Perhaps at an hour into the run, at the final half an hour left, we've got a race, Mitch. Let's get that $5 donation train up and running when you see a 1 on that timer, friends.
All right, so we're coming up, there's a little more lore, but we're coming up on another underwater headless. And so for this one, I'm actually not going to be using a confetti. The only headless we don't use a confetti on. The underwater ones are actually not that countered by confetti. Instead, they just kind of take normal damage. So it turns out Yashariku Sugar is a little bit better for this one. We used the confetti for the previous one because it died to health damage, but this one's going to die to posture damage, so Yash ends up being better.
For those who don't know, as the fight already sucks, can I just let you guys know that this guy has a move where he takes your butt and he puts it in his own butt.
He takes your soul from your butt.
yeah.
He puts it into his butt. Okay, let's be clear.
That one.
Okay.
But luckily, you can just kind of circle around him and it'll miss. And there we go.
Very nice.
But not stolen. Nice finish.
Not stolen. I get to keep it. All right, and then the next mini boss is a lone shadow that has a strategy. He can actually use Yashariku Sugar himself, which will lower his own posture. I think it actually doesn't affect his health, but at least his posture. And so I'm gonna try to bait him into using that so that I can take him out faster. So I use Yash to increase my damage. He uses Yash to decrease his posture. It's perfect, and then he should die super quickly. So let's see, if, as long as I'm far enough away, he should do it. There it is. And as soon as he finishes, I do some dead
Very
mortal
clean.
draws, and there he
Nice.
is.
What a team player.
Yeah.
So coming up here, we have another headless fight, and this one will be a little bit different than the ones we fought so far. So in our glitchless run, as we go through this area, we're kind of loading and deloading this headless, which is pretty unavoidable unless you go out of your way and take time loss to do, which is just, we just decided in the rules to just allow this to happen because sometimes it's just out of your control and there's nothing you could do. So as you can see, Mitch could even do this fight blindfolded if he wanted to.
Yeah, and actually, I think as soon as I lock on, let me just... Actually, I'll just... How you guys
Hey, how you doing?
Everyone wave to Mitch.
You guys having a good time back there?
Yeah.
I like that he just kind of wiggles.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
wiggle.
love the
He's here for
wiggle.
the vibes.
Like a little kid.
Yeah, it's a party. Okay, Headless.
Yeah, this basically happens while we are talking to Emma. Those couple of times that we progress the lore causes this bug to happen, and so we can't really avoid it. We have to talk to Emma for this run, so this kind of has to happen. And originally, we actually had no idea why. It was just happening to runners, and they were getting their runs rejected from glitchless, and that sucked. It was like, oh, you can get, 55 minutes into a run, and your run is rejected. And we had no idea what was going on, so we decided to allow it. And then when we finally discovered what was going on, at that point, what are we going to do? Invalidate the entire leaderboard that had them, so it just kind of stayed. We agree it's a glitch, it's a glitch in glitchless, but for the sake of runners, it kind of just had to stay in the rules.
Everyone was just so heartbroken to remove it.
Yeah.
This is so interactive.
But, what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? And now we're heading to the Divine Dragon. We have finally taken out all of the mini bosses that would have gotten deleted as soon as we defeat the Divine Dragon, and so now we can take them out, get the memory, and start working on some more bosses.
Dragon fight, while very cool in a speedrun, it has a lot of potential to lose time. So this section can go hopefully well. Do your best, Mitch.
Yeah, the first phase shouldn't be too bad, and the second phase is more random for time loss than it is you die and you have to start the fight over. Although I have died sometimes. Sometimes it's just really weird, so hopefully that won't happen.
It's a very pretty fight, at least.
Yes.
Cinema.
It's basically the way this first phase works is there's a bunch of these weird, ugly little dragon dudes, and you have to kill all of the white ones. So you can do some mortal draws to take out some, but the main way to take them out is they're going to eventually summon this giant tree branch, and you can do a unique aerial death blow where you stab one and then sweep it around and one-shot all the other ones. So basically, the trick to doing this efficiently is you want to try to one-cycle it with AK, just just use it in one
With 1-3.
And so, yeah, they just kind of spawn over time. So he's going to wait here until the rest of them spawn before he does the second sweep. Otherwise, he'll have to...
Maybe I can still.
Okay, I think he's good.
Nice.
Still in one cycle.
All right.
Very nice.
Now we got the real dragon fight. So he's going to be trying to go for some hits onto the dragon on top of the lightning deflections. You'll see, well, first you open up the lightning, and then you'll go up into melee range and go for some, as you guys did, some jump mortal draws to get some damage in.
Yeah, I feel like most people don't realize you actually can hit the dragon.
Yeah.
You don't have to use the lightning.
That's a pretty good attack.
Oh,
a little close.
You can't touch the dragon.
You cannot touch the dragon.
No touch either.
That's okay. We'll take this lightning and try it again. Do not touchy the dragon. Do not touchy the dragon.
All right, pretty
That was
good.
pretty good damage, yeah.
That's decent. Unfortunately, our Yash has ran out, so we're going to be a little slower for the rest of this, but should be all right. Good.
Still hit the
Yeah,
threshold to mid-final.
We knocked you to like the very edge of the arena. All right, to be safe, I'm just going to heal up just in case.
Good idea.
Usually you would actually die on purpose in this phase for speed, but I do not have the ability to die without resetting the fight, so instead I'll do the opposite. I will live. All right, good. That is the final attack that we want to see. As soon as we get through this, we should be set to take him out.
Watching the dodges on this is so cool.
Yeah.
And the Cinema Lightning.
Bam.
Boom.
Good one.
And as long as you hold forward at the end here, this grapple point will show up. If you actually don't hold forward, you have to just like kind of walk up slowly and get it to eventually appear. So very nice to know that. You can actually influence your direction in the air.
Crisis averted there.
Yep.
But if you thought that fight could go wrong, there's the next fight coming right up.
Oh,
will
the
be
next fight.
Shigekichi, the red guard, and he is probably can lose you more time than Dragon if things go wrong. We'll kind of explain when we get there.
Real quick before we get there, can I jump in with an update?
Yes.
Amazing. We are almost to $2,000 raised out of that $15K for Easy All Secrets, and our donation train is officially up and running with a $5 donation from Hunjurin, who says, gosh, I hope I didn't miss the train. I also have $10 here from Suya, who says, Sekiro all bosses is fun torture. I can see that making a lot of sense after watching Mitch and Aggie doing the Kazan Fists only run. Bless all these people. They do a great lot of stuff in the Souls community.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes it's fun. Oh, and speaking of, I just got shot in the butt. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, here we got Shigekichi coming up, and we'll do a similar start to the boss fight, going up and from behind and getting a quick death blow. But after that, we're going to bait Shigekichi out through the front of the gate, have a shooter guard out from the front here, take notice to hit those explosive barrels to ignite them. He misses.
He missed.
But
he got him eventually.
And then we have the explosive barrels deal big damage to Shigekichi, which that was a good amount of damage. Very nice.
Yeah, the closer he is to those barrels, the more damage the explosion will actually do.
Nice. Okay, that was pretty good.
It was overall not bad.
Yeah, there's basically 3 amounts of damage he can take. Well, I guess 4. He can take basically all of his health and damage, where you just do 1 more mortal draw and he's done. He can take that amount, which was like a medium amount. It helps a lot, but I had to do a few mortal draws at the end. He can take almost nothing, where you basically just have to fight him. And he can take nothing because the gunners can just miss the explosive barrel. So glad that we got, the second best. That's not bad.
Yeah. And there you notice that he slurped up a Young Lord's Bell Charm there. That's a very important item. It's very weird that you could just like use the auto collect it. But yeah, that'll give us access to the first Harada Estate memory. Which we actually already had the Beltron for the second Harada estate, but yeah, now we have both of them.
Yeah,
so.
usually you would acquire that belt very early in the game, but you do it through dialogue, and dialogue is slow. So if instead you just come back much later, when the lady that would give it to you despawns, when NPCs despawn, they just kind of leave their loot behind. So we just got to pick it up instead, much faster.
And here we just get a little sneak peek of Demon, but we come back later. We want to initially trigger the fight where the health bar appears. Those, as you saw, he was fighting some of the just random dudes. If you come back again on future attempts, they aren't there and can't interfere with the fight. So that, combined with coming back later when you have more memory, just makes the fight a lot faster.
Yeah, trying to fight him with those enemies is a nightmare. It's so bad. You can just get shot from the back. Sometimes they actually help you. Sometimes they're just shooting the demon, but it is not worth the risk. So, all right, now we're in Harada, which is a very early game area. So surely. But you'll see that even if I get hit by something, it's not going to kill me, whereas a lot of the late game stuff pretty much one-shots you. That doesn't mean I can't die here, but I shouldn't, hopefully. Maybe.
Good confidence.
We should have put the curses on you again. That's not what happened last time.
I know. But yeah, when we get up to the Shinobi Hunter, this will be, assuming he doesn't like run away or do something weird, this should be the fastest boss kill in the run, even faster than Miss Noble. Blink and you absolutely will miss it, because we simply jump, Mortal Draw, and jump, Mortal Draw. And there it goes.
You almost feel bad.
Yeah, almost.
This fight is usually so annoying with all those guys around.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you just kill them like that.
Yeah, it's a classic early game wall for casual playthroughs.
Yeah, and if you're thinking, oh, the Mortal Draw must be so overpowered, he kind of just has a little tiny health pool. If you did one Mikiri counter, it would finish him off in a single Mikiri counter as well. So he's just scaled for the early game. The next boss at least has enough health that he's not going to die instantly. And actually has very cool, sneaky strats to get him.
You get
coming up
real up close and personal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're coming up on that in just...
Pound right into it.
We also grabbed the Hidden Temple Key. That is a required item to access the Lady Butterfly fight after this Drunkard coming up. So yeah, this Harada is pretty much back-to-back with the bosses. Well, I guess actually there's kind of a running here. Alright, here comes the stealthy part. So this Drunkard has a bunch of other enemies around, and the intended strat is you actually get an NPC to help you. It's almost like a, summon in a Dark Souls or something like that. There he is. Hi, Blue.
My boy Blue.
Bye, Blue. Instead, we are going to just use our stealth sugar and just walk by everything. And then get real up close.
Then buff up and then...
Just bumping inside the boss. As up.
then cleave all the enemies that run up to him. Use the firecrackers there to force him to get another nice Mortal Draw combo, finish off the boss.
That is such a crazy fight from that perspective. If I didn't know better, I would not understand what any of that was.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That guy got out of the way. Sometimes he can stand in the doorway and you have to, like...
Kind of messed up. He wasn't even in the way.
He could have been. It's like the chicken. Yeah. All right, Lady Butterfly. We're going to try to do some more of the dead-angled Mortal Draws because she takes massively reduced damage if she blocks your attacks. So I'm going to try not to let her block them by starting them facing away.
Nice.
That was great.
And then the second phase has a script, but it's very specific on the timing, so I'll see if I can get it. It's right as she's like raising her legs. Have to watch her right now.
Nice.
Got it. And one more. Oh, somehow I didn't. Huh.
Oh, I guess she blocked it.
I guess so.
Whoa.
I do not want her to sit on the wires. Jump up and hit her. There we go. Good enough.
That's good. That's
Yeah, that was good.
Your phase one was too good. They had to
Balance it out.
balance it a bit.
I think what happened is Mortal Draw actually has multiple hitboxes, and if you're close enough, you hit with all of them. But if you're a little further away, you only hit with the furthest one out. We call it a partial Mortal Draw. In other words, it's just one that does less damage because you're a little far away. So I think that's probably what happened. Now we're going to equip the Finger Whistle. We're never going to use the Finger Whistle, but I do need to equip it because it's the only way to make one of the Shishimin Warriors spawn, the one that gives, like, the Finger Whistle upgrade. I guess they don't want him to appear until you know what the Finger Whistle is, otherwise you'd be very confused. What is he giving me? What is this?
Seems like an incredibly unnecessary
I totally agree.
decision, but you know,
It's fine. It is what it is. Our final level up gives us a few more maximum spirit emblems, which is going to be really nice for some of the final bosses, as well as mid-air prosthetics. So now I can use those firecrackers while jumping, and as well I can use the shuriken while jumping, and both of those are going to be useful for a few strategies coming up later. But first, we're cleaning up yet another early-ish mini-boss, so if you're betting on it to live for very long, that would not be a good bet.
Mitch, did you say final bosses momentarily?
Maybe. There's a few.
Well, chat, the donation train is rolling, but ask yourself, is this a pace that would make Mitriz proud? Reflect on that, and gdq.gg/donate or our Twitch extension. We are also under $2,000 to 150K, and I really want to see that this run.
All right, into the next Lone Shadow has a particular strat. I'm going to try to do it with only mortal draws, but I have to save some spirit emblems, so I can't just like spam it till he's dead. I have to save some, so I get exactly 6 mortal draws to try to do this fight. So I'm going to try to use 3 per phase. 1 here, jump over his attack. 1, dead angle this.
Nice.
Okay, good first phase. Get a little closer to him, dead angle, jump over his attack 1 more time. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, that is one that if it goes sideways, it goes really sideways. So I'm glad that that definitely worked out. Although this next boss is even more likely to not go well. In practice, it did not go well, but we'll see how it goes this time. So classic, we start with our stealth, we get 1 free death blow, and then I need to try to separate these 2, mini bosses here. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna run over towards this archer, take him out so he's not gonna shoot me. Buff up here.
And hopefully one of the enemies will
Oh
go
no,
up and around.
oh, they're both going
did
around.
come up.
Okay, I'm gonna try to separate like this.
Ooh, nice. I think Lone Shadow's still on the right. Yeah.
bro is too big for the staircase.
Oh, he dropped down.
Nice.
There we go,
Okay,
there we go.
that worked out. It's a little scary when they both start running up at you.
Yeah. It's basically a little, freestyle how to get them separated. Usually one will run up the stairs and the other one won't, but yeah, oh well. We managed to separate them. And now on to Father Owl, my personal favorite boss in the game casually. The speedrun, we're gonna try to have him pretty much scripted, and we'll see if it goes the way I'm hoping it does.
A little shuriken there
Love
to just
the
get the
shuriken.
perfect amount of damage so that just a couple
Nice.
deflects there to end the phase 1.
Woo!
Just barely getting that mortal draw.
Yep,
Very
we go.
nice.
Very
Nice.
Wasn't quite the perfect version of the fight, but it was sure close enough.
Yeah, could have gone pretty
good.
bad.
Yeah.
So,
All right, yeah, I love the shuriken in the middle there. We have normally 1 extra emblem, so we figured out that if you use it while in the air, it's just enough damage to save us a couple of hits, because it gets like a counter hit on him as he's trying to do his attack, so it's really cool.
I love when stuff like that just works out.
yeah.
All right, next one is a Lone Shadow duo. This one is...
Oh boy.
I'm going to try to, once again, dead angle all the mortal draws. And I'm going to try to make sure that my mortal draws hit both of the Lone Shadows so that the second one is not going to interrupt me. This is not always possible. I'm also going to try to use Firecrackers, again, to stagger both of them. Not always possible, so we'll see how it goes. Okay,
Nice.
got the
Phase
first
one.
one.
Ooh, nice firecracker.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Beautiful, we take those.
That was really clean. That
Yeah,
looked
that was
really
really
easy.
good.
Yeah, when it goes well, it looks easy, but
Yeah.
when it goes poorly, it's
Yeah.
like, oh gosh. Yeah, we are a little low on emblems now going into the next mini-boss, but it shouldn't matter. We should have enough at 15. All right, nice, and then do that one more time. Excellent.
Nice.
All right, here I'm gonna grab some extra gotching on the way through here. We already have 2 left and only 1 more mini boss that needs it, but you can never have too much, I guess.
Yeah.
And then try to drop down onto this ogre's head.
Number 2. Unlike the last one, we're not going to be circling around this one. Just going to be just doing
What do you
little
think?
bread and butter. Yeah.
Take a guess.
And interesting, we do a little aerial attack here because otherwise he would live on 1 health. I would have also loved to get the death blow from behind, but I was scared these guys
Yeah.
were going to prevent me, so I just,
Better safe than sorry.
yeah, took the front death
Taking
blow.
the death blow from the back of the ogre is like, I don't know, like a second faster or something like that.
Yeah, this one it's only like a second faster. The first ogre it's like 3 seconds
Yeah,
faster
wait, yeah.
because you have to wait for the fog wall. Luckily no fog wall on this one, so it's not too big of a deal. All right, and then for these ones, another duo. It's the
Gotta
end
love it.
game. They were just like, just throw duos in. Throw duos, trios, make them fight multiple things. But once again, I'm going to try to just take out the main one. We do not need the side one to die, so I'm just going to try to sneak up, buff.
Oh my god, I like how they don't even notice.
Yeah,
you.
they're watching each other's back, but like,
Well,
not
I'm
the
watching the side. Oh, ooh. That happens about half the time you just die there, and that's fine.
You were like launching to the death blow too. That was awesome.
Yeah. You do not half the time die there. That one's a little more rare, but that's okay. We can do it again. That's why I grabbed the extra gotching just in case.
Good thing. While we run back, can I share some love from this donation train?
Absolutely.
Full swing. Chat, we are making good progress. $2,500 out of $15,000 for that easy all secrets category upgrade. But as a reminder, we need to hit that by the start, not the end, the very start of the Quake 64 run. Mitch is going to fly through these bosses. They are sending 2 at a time, and it is simply not enough. But here is some love from the donation train. I have $5 from Mike Motions. I have $5 from Direware Chicken. I have $5 from Josh Anthony simply saying, hype! I also have $25 5-hole tickets from David Pate saying, a train for some Quake, count me in. And I have $5 here from Campo and Catherine saying, $5 train, go Mitch. Go each and every one of you. I want to see this Quake upgrade.
All right, we're coming up on most people's favorite boss. My second favorite. I still love him. Great boss. One of the hardest bosses I think that FromSoft has ever made, up there, you know, with the likes of the most infamous ones. And we have kind of a script for every phase, but a lot of the script is kind of just fighting for a bit. So we will see how this goes. The first phase is Genichiro for a 3rd time. We've already fought him. Let's get at him. And then we get to the real meat of the Ishin fight. So I'm going to start by baiting Genichiro to do a thrust attack by healing here. Nice, and that gives me a guaranteed
Under the
mortal
Fury
claw.
counter, yeah.
Yep. Nice. Okay, Ishin, I'm gonna start with a jumping mortal draw and hopefully not get killed for it. Oh,
It would appear that you were.
I was in fact killed for it. I should have known. But it's okay. We can just do another one afterwards.
Yeah, this first phase is pretty straightforward. You just kind of fight him. I love this little sneaking that little hit there before the carry comes. It's always so satisfying.
Nice.
I love when you just fight the boss. It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
This phase 2 buff up again. Getting some big mortal draws here. Really get some good moves. Nice.
The big combo.
Nice.
Jumping over that sweep.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And then the last phase, if we get a lightning, should be scripted.
Yeah,
which we did.
yeah, immediately. Very nice.
Yep.
Big
There he
damage.
is.
Very nice.
Oh,
Now that is the
damn.
final boss of the game, but it's not the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
We still got a few to go.
Yeah, it's the final story boss. This would end the story of the game, but there's a few optional bosses that we skipped. We're going to come back to in just a second. We have one last memory boss as well, which is a major boss, optional memory boss, the Demon of Hatred. A lot of people's least favorite boss. I like it. I think it's pretty fun. It's got so much health, though, so it is going to be a long fight where at any point he can decide to run away. He can decide to do very weird attacks. He can really, really troll this one. So hopefully we get it where he will stick around and let us get in some of our normal hits. But if it goes sideways, we're just going to have to improvise.
We won't back off 5 times in a row.
We have seen, I think I've seen 7 in a row. He just would not stop. He would not. Hopefully that does not happen here.
Speaking of not stopping, the donation train continues moving. $5 from Landscape Goat and $5 from Lordly Hour. Thank you so much, everyone. We have crossed over $3,000 on that Quake 64 upgrade to Easy All Secrets. Keep them coming. I know we can do it.
So this is a fun boss.
Yep.
I like to say this is like a Dark Souls boss in Sekiro.
Why?
Because it's like you fight it like a Dark Souls boss a lot of the time.
It's a little less parry heavy
Yeah, that's
than
fair,
most
yeah.
of them. You can deflect his attacks. All the attacks with the firearm will damage you
Yeah,
if you
like
so
the
you don't
bolt.
want to attack them too much. But these foot stomps, yeah, you can deflect that. Yeah, he's got 3 health bars to get through here, so it's quite a bit of mortal drawing necessary. And he also has a few scripted attacks that we have to at least survive.
And during this phase transition, he is immune to damage, so take time to buff up, but also just gotta wait.
It's a pretty sick fight though. Like, it looks
Zero?
nice.
Didn't
Zero
back
jump
pump at
that?
all. Wow.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh,
You can throw his chick.
Oh, I do not like when he runs away. Hopefully he doesn't do the long attack. Of course he does. Of course he does.
that's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
He was right next to you, too.
Yep. That's actually, I think, when he's most likely to do it, unfortunately.
Oh,
Okay, that's fine, though.
nice.
Got into the final phase, which should be entirely scripted. We buff, we jump at just the right time so that we bait him into doing that move, which we can stagger him, hit him 4 times, use the Tonto, run after him, hit him 1 more time, jump over his attack, do the mortal draw, 1 more should stagger him, and we've got him dead. Boom!
Very
There it is.
nice.
All right, that is our final memory boss. So we really are approaching the end here. We have, I think it's 5 more bosses to clean up that we skipped later. So they are going to fly by. So yeah, definitely make sure to get those donations in for the incentive because we are almost done here.
We are also almost to $150,000 total raise for Doctors Without Borders this event. Chat, I know you want it. Let's get that 150K before we finish this cleanup. And remember to put that towards Quake 64.
All right, so first of our cleanup bosses here is Orin of the Water. She's really, really weird. Hopefully our jump mortal draw will kind of delete her before she can do anything too weird, but
Yeah.
there is no guarantee of that.
At this point, just have so much damage. Can just kind of brute force this fight. Yeah.
Yep,
Nice phase
there we
one.
go. Hey, we're actually going to use a Tonto and another jump to time our mortal draw right as she becomes vulnerable in the second phase. And then jump one more time.
Nice.
There we go. Nice.
Nice.
All right, next for our cleanup is going to be another headless that we skipped earlier. One here in the forest. This one we have a unique opener for. I'm going to throw a shuriken at him. It doesn't actually really do any damage, but what it does do... what it does do is it baits him into aggroing onto us early while he's still far away, and hopefully that will mean that he's going to try his ranged attack as we run it. If he does the ranged attack, it all just misses, and we get to start attacking him for free. So I'll see if I can get it just right. So first we buff up as we head in, and then I'm going to do a jump, a wall jump, and a shuriken. Boom. And we got it. He went for the ranged attack, so I get to just freely circle around him a bit.
There's definitely too many headless in this game, if you ask me.
I got the grab attack for the second phase as well. Yep. I just turn around for just a split second to try to get him to do that, and it works.
Nice, very good.
Awesome. All right, 3 left. Next one is another drunkard. This one is surrounded by a bunch of monkeys. And so I'm going to try to use the firecrackers to startle the monkeys as at the same time I get the death blow on him. But it can be a little tough.
Death blow from the way on the side.
Yep, yep.
And yeah, you can see like all the monkeys here can really mess things up. And so normally how we get out of fights after this is to homeward bone or the homeward idol out. But the 8-second animation takes too long, so instead we just do this.
We just died.
Use an item we picked up earlier to just immediately go back.
Well, what a dramatic way to cross the $150,000 for Doctors Without Borders. Thank you so much, everyone who helped make that happen. And we have also crossed $4,000 total raised out of $15K for that Quake 64 incentive. Chat, I see you coming alive. We've got 2 bosses here, plus all the inner bosses. I know you can do it.
All right, so for these last 2 bosses, I want you guys to take a guess. How are we going to take out these last 2 bosses? What do you think?
Maybe we fight him with skill?
Yeah. Any other guesses?
Could be a jump mortal draw involved?
What? Jump? What do you? What's that mean? Jump mortal draw?
Just a guess.
No, absolutely not. Instead, we're going to use Dragon Flash, which does this. Of course. Just like that. So basically, the mortal draws don't actually affect the undead enemies very well. You'll see that's why we were actually attacking the headless. But Dragon Flash is an exception to that. Dragon Flash gets the properties of the confetti.
Wow.
And so, yeah, even if we don't have mortal draw, things can go down very quickly as long as we have any combat art to abuse. All right, and then the very last one here, coming up on our final one. This one, we have to load, reload, and load again, because otherwise you can't get an aerial death blow. It's just weird.
Kind of right. He'll run out, load him, unload it, and then he'll buff. And when he loads him again, he'll be able to time the falling death blow. Oh,
there
nice.
it is.
Gets it. And then time will be on quitting out after this boss.
All right, so this one we do 1 Dragon Flash, 2 Dragon Flash,
and 3 Dragon Flash.
Yay!
All right, ready on time. Here it comes, and time.
Let's go mid.
Sub 130!
Aside from Gunfort, that was a nice run. That was a great run. A darn Gunfort. All right, cool. So now, in order to show off the inner bosses, I am going to need to do a little technical thing. I'm going to need to swap over my save for just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. because in order to unlock these inner bosses, you have to not only defeat all the bosses in a single run, you have to do 2 different endings, and you then have to go through some gauntlets. So in order to save us the time of doing all that, which would take another like hour and a half to do a whole other ending and the gauntlets, instead I'm just going to load the save here, and a second, and start up the game again, and we should have our proper save.
You know, I like that gun format like that. I think it's very representative of this run.
it is.
And any Sekiro run.
It humanizes the game.
Yes. that is pretty much how it is. You can play the bosses as well as you like, but Gunfort is just never going to cooperate. All right, cool. So loading it up here now. And so for these inner bosses, I am not going to just be using Mortal Draw. Not that it would work that well anyway. They have enough health, they would tank through it. But I'm going to try to show off a little bit more of fighting them how you normally would for this purpose. Not slow. We're still going to use Yash Sugar. I'm still going to use it for a few Mortal Draws. But hopefully we can see all of their cool new extra moves. So I'm going to start with Inner Genichiro. He always starts with his new move for phase 1, and then in the final phase I'm going to try to show off the unique change to it as well. But I start with buffing up with our Yash, and he always starts with this move. Boom, Cinema. And from here, I'm going to fight him a little more normally. The main thing I'm trying to do is not let him get so far away that he starts shooting arrows. So you can see, he really wants to, but if I keep his back up against a wall, we are not going to have to deal with that. Good first phase. All right, if he's in the corner, he really cannot shoot arrows at us, so this is even better. For this flurry, you actually have to just kind of dodge around it, because if you try to deflect it all, it kind of just doesn't work. Oh, he also got some space on me. He got some arrows in.
Yeah, that move is interesting. It's literally just not deflectable properly.
Yeah.
I swear it's not a solution.
You have to like turn sideways in order for your hitboxes to like collide differently to have...
Yeah.
It's weird, it's weird. It's a little too technical to get into in this. Here I'm gonna buff up while facing away, just like I did on the regular Genichiro. And we're hoping to see some lightning once again, especially because the lightning is his cool new move in this phase. Come on, do some lightning. Here it is, here it is.
There we go.
So if we deflect the lightning, he deflects it back at us, and we have to deflect it a second time. I love seeing that. If we get another lightning, there's also a special skill that you get for defeating him once that lets you deflect it immediately. I'll see if I can get another lightning, but it's a speed run. We got to keep going. Hopefully he'll just do one. All right, one last chance, Genny. Any lightning? Oh, yeah, but he does give you a cool skill that can immediately deflect the lightning and counter his deflection. Didn't quite get showed off there, but there's our first of 3 inner bosses.
That was cool. It's just Mitch being good at the game.
All right, our second of 3 is Father Owl that we're going to redo. He sometimes doesn't want to show off his new moves, but hopefully we'll get to see a few of them here. The big thing I have to watch out for is in this fight, hesitation is actually not defeat. You have to hesitate on your attacks because at any time he can just like iframe through them and immediately counterattack you. So I can't just keep attacking like I normally would in the fight. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Woo! He's done it again. So I have to always be aware of that move in particular. Oh, twice in a row again. Whoa!
Oh, the stall.
I can't see. Yeah. I gotta... He definitely got me there. He stuck me in the corner. Yeah. That's payback for what I did to him earlier, so...
I love that move where he throws the firecrackers, but you can thrust through to hit him while also dodging it.
Oh, that was an interesting.
Got stuck on the pillar.
Yeah. Yeah, that one where you
Yeah.
thrust through is super fun. Okay, almost got his first phase. Nice. Okay. Second phase, more of the owl attacks. Oh, whoops.
Oh, it's a mortal draw.
That's not mortal draw. Sorry. What?
It looks real cool. though.
Yeah,
Hold up, real quick, real
So
quick.
good. Yeah.
I thought that was his move. That hit that new move.
Okay. I have no revives left, so I gotta be really careful here. There's a mortal draw, and there we go.
Good work.
All right, and then the final one is Inner Ishin. He pretty much only has 2 new moves. He has like some slight variations, but hopefully I can show off both of them. He'll always start with one of his new moves, and then the second of his new ones we can try to see on some of his later phases, but he doesn't always do it, so we'll see if we can see that. The first new one that he does is actually like an inner ring and an outer ring. So I'm gonna run out of his inner ring and then back into the outer ring. So run out of the inner ring, run back in. Okay, and then from here we're pretty much fighting him normally until the second phase. Nice. Okay, now to try to show off the cool move from his second phase, I'm going to try to get some distance. He's more likely to use it if I have some distance on him. There it is. Jump, you have to do a midair deflect. Boom, and then one more.
This is really cool. This is definitely one of FromSoft's coolest bosses.
Yeah. Nice. And then I don't have a lot of emblems left, so this third phase could be a little longer, but hopefully we'll get some lightnings. There's a good one.
Are you able to switch to the other
Yeah,
lightning?
swap to the Yeti Light.
Oh, yeah, I should. Hold on a second. Oh, not just yet. Hold on. I'll swap right now while he's stunned. Now I've got some. Okay, there we go, there we go. All right, give me one more. Yes, so we go. No, he missed. He countered me. But we got it.
All right. Nicely done.
All right. And time will be coming up on this final death blow here. And time.
Yay! Very
Nicely
impressive.
done. Nicely done.
Thank you. So, yeah, shout out to the Sekiro speedrunning community, very welcoming community, the very first community that I ever got into when I was speedrunning, and I think they, turned me into the speedrunner I am today, trying to do so many different runs, including get to work on Tuesday morning. Make sure that you don't miss that. And so, yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to my couch and commentators for helping me out. It's been so awesome. And I love getting to show off these games at GDQ. And yeah, any more shout outs? Anything you guys got?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
That was really cool. Thanks for having us.
Having us,
A lot of
Mitch and I
fun.
go way back, so it's been awesome seeing Mitch's journey as a speedrunner, streamer, and content creator. So.
Yeah. Aggie has been one of my biggest inspirations, so I'm so glad that, to have him on the couch and as a friend. And so, but yeah, thank you so much, GDQ, for putting this event on. Thank you so much for having me. And I think that'll about do it. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Would have been nice if you guys told me that 4 hours ago!
This was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/sweats.
Boys, today we're finally going to be doing our solo brawler. Thought I might stretch this out a bit since we really don't have much going on for the next 7 months, but this is the journey of how I will solo brawler. Beautiful. Oh, he's the roasting winning solo. Alright. Dude, I don't think you guys understand how tunnel visioned I was on not getting scrapped. I think I hit a good drop. Good goblin, so good. As long as the goblin my way. Oh, I'm good. I think. Yep. Damage is horrible. So let's go good quickly. See how that goes. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. I don't like retrofit either. I'm starting to think the linear will probably be good here. Yes, chat. We got some kid in backseat that's surrounded on the linear really down here. Thank you. I'm dead. I literally forgot about the bug. So, can you beat me or no? What do I run then? No, motherfucker doesn't want to push me. Try and push him. I'm getting eyeballed back to money. I'm almost on Dragon's Breath. I don't trust Dragon's Breath anymore. Not Dragon's Breath. Leviathan's Breath. Same people who like Leviathan's Breath are the same people who were telling me it was good on the last dungeon. But then they were the ones getting like a 4-phase still. Damage is just fucking terrible, bro. Bro, if this thing is dog shit, I'm perma banning everybody that said the word Leviathan stuff within the past 15 minutes. Well, the only problem is now he's 40 miles away and I can't use my super. It's not horrible damage, it's not great damage either. But I don't know what the fuck the color is. Burning wall, just a single plan. Oh, is that the one that eats your super? That can really go crazy. Just swap to it, stand simple, and swap up to the glass volume. Yeah, I got some spots on the thing for the nice for this time. Yeah, I really like this side on. Especially for... That's sick, man. Thank you. Better. Hammer debuffs the boss? Since when? Seasonal mod? Which one is that? Do I have it? I do? Wait, so am I supposed to bonk him? You want solo operative on? That's why your damage is shit? What is solo operative? Oh! Awesome, man. Would have been nice if you guys told me that 4 hours ago! By the way, listen, man. When I did raids, we didn't have these dog-ass mods, bro, okay? We didn't need the extra 15%. I was the extra 15%. You understand? Big damage! Huge! Wow, it's almost like that's 15% more damage that I could have had earlier if that just was something. That's wild. That was actually, comparatively, that was some pretty good damage. I just take a mod on? Oh, great. Which one is it? Huh, there you go. Look at me go, guys. At least I had one of the two on, you know? That's a win. What? First base is good.
My bad, I just moved.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. That'll be our OG loadout.
Running Santa's workshop all year is not easy work. Round the clock schedule honestly makes me miss working in the cold. It's always weird because people are always and the number one thing kids are asking for this year is... That's right, baby! Factor meals! Fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door. They make the whole process super simple. Pick the amount of meals that you want, then you pick which ones you want, and boom. You get a box full of meals straight to your door that are ready in just 2 minutes. pop them in the Mikey, and they're ready to go. That way, so you too can continue to be a degenerate gamer this holiday while still eating something that is actually health conscious. You guys know this already. I've been using Factor meals for a really long time. It's really nice because I stream and work a lot that I have something that's no prep and no mess and is ready super fast so I can continue to be a lazy piece of shit. Another really nice part about Factor is that they change the meals quite often so they don't get bored. And if I'm gone for an event like TwitchCon or PAX or anything like that, you can skip whatever week that you need. If you want that week, you're gone, you gotta go watch the goldfish, you can always come back to it. So that way you're not wasting a ton of food or a ton of money. If you guys are at all interested, head on over to factor75.com, use code FLEXIBLE50, or you can click the link in the description, and you get 50% off your first Factor box.
Okay, what do I do for this guy? I think I should just point and then I should shoot. Should I run hammers for this too? Let's just try it and see what happens. What am I supposed to do at the very top though? Because I can't make a sunspot up there. Dude, if I throw my hammer into the fucking abyss on my solo flawless, I'm gonna be so sad. It's gonna be the worst damage ever, but it's fun. Stop there. Yeah, that's fun. Sunspot, 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 sunspot. Good. Awesome, bro! Fucking awesome! I really wish there were other passive damage weapons besides just Witherboard and Anarchy. Your job? Your job? Your job? That's just, is that good? I don't know if that's good. Maybe I got damage that's so bad. Wait. How? How did I get it back? Did he just give me fucking cooties from a mile away? Did he fucking spit on me? Bro, retrofit is way better than that. Are you kidding me? This is just chambers. Oh, where's my hammer? Oh, it's up. That's awesome. Am I missing something with the healing? Why is my shit just not stuck in the middle? I feel like really all Tech has in this fucking thing now is like you just root the shit out of them in a war. I have recoup on, I'm sitting in fucking sunspots, I'm throwing hammers, what more am I supposed to do? Oh, that's awesome. I grapple, and he goes nowhere. How do you just fucking go nowhere, you fat fuck? No takesy backsies! Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to do banner of war here. It's just not so damage. And I had it. How the fuck did he give it to me? He didn't hit me! Will I do damage from down here? I'll go like this. No? I actually should probably just save all the heavy, I guess. It's not rude. Okay, yeah, whatever rapid fire bullshit you're doing needs to stop. Yeah, going in the tunnel of spam or banner of war is probably a better idea. Fire team of the same class. And now that I finally have the strats down, it was time to get to work. Give it up for a test number 1. The one and only offense I will need. Give it up for the first attempt, and we're gonna pet this right off the rim. Navigator would be pretty nice right about now. Bro, like, can the fucking melee work, bro? Alright. Surely he remembers where the traps are. Oh my god, I just died. I almost have died. This way, and we go up, and we go up. Watch this. Yeah. Alright, I don't remember what my strat was for this at all, but, you know, we should be okay. Fancical would first try this. Yeah, you're right. What do you mean I am fancical, bro? You know how much weight I lost, bro? Yo, pitch out. Pitch aside. Damage wasn't great, but it's okay. Alright, where's my heavy, bro? Where's stone? Alright, about 14 more bricks to do. Are you sure scab doesn't work? When I was using scab yesterday, like, they don't work with finder bricks, do they? Because the only time I'm really getting heavy is when I have a finder on. Oh, I forgot to put my camera first. Oh, okay. Easy peasy 4-phase here. Beautiful. I did not think we were going to get past the open first try, but look, here we are. Here we are. Like practice around the briar. Not the power, so I'm going to go in there and dig a jet. Alright, well, it all comes down to this. I really don't remember what my strat was for yesterday, other than tracking the succession. I don't know how my lives are. I think the game actually just gave me grace there. That was crazy. Oh. What? My banner blow right now. The worst timing ever. Oh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that's what killed me? Oh my god, the Ogie just fucking saved me. The Ogie just saved me. He boosted me into the fire. Time to get this fucking bread! I'm dead. Bro, my melee clearly fucking connected. I am mind blown. It did the animation as if my melee connected too. So this challenge is becoming a game of how many times can you get fucked by the final boss. My fault, man. My fault. It's my mistake. I'll just do better next time. Stop! Bro. My banner of war runs out. My banner of war runs out. Let me kill 7,000 more fucking ads. I don't trust that. Bro, I've been, bro, I'm gonna jinx this, but I've been to the boss like 5 times in a row. It's gonna be real bad, but it's fine. Come on, big boy. I just wish it would bounce back, bro. Yeah, that damage is fucking bad. That was really, really bad. This time that's good. Yay! And then I skirt. And then I skirt. Yay! And then I skirt. And then I skirt. Yay! I'm either gonna die, one guy, or my banner war. That's usually how this goes. I almost just want to wipe and just go back to the game. Just get it over with, you know? It's time to get twisted and twisted. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna leave him there. How the fuck did I put 5 million feet in the air? In his final dying breath, he gave me fucking Ligma. Alright, time to die to the scoring guy. Let's give it up.